3 months ago, I posted my first Journey to 10K per month video. Last month, I made over $15,000. Hopefully, you enjoyed that hook. In this video, I am going to go through, who I am, where I'm at, what I've been doing, and how I was able to go from wanting to get there to actually getting there and now trying to sustain it. This will be an interesting video, whether you've been watching it for a while or whether you have just picked it up and you're like, who is this guy? And I suggest staying till the end. I have something cool to show you, but also I do want to explain a few different things. There is never really much structure with my videos, as you've noticed, and I think it's better to keep it that way. I think it's better to just talk about who I am initially and then what I'm doing. So to dive in, my name is Val and I run two businesses, basically three. I do coaching, I teach appointment setting or like sales. I do placements, so I place people into businesses and I get paid for that, which is a placement agency. And then I run 6-figure sales teams as well. So I do three different things really, but in reality, it's like two main things. And in this video, I'm going to go through, what I'm doing and how we've gotten to this point, but also give you guys like a quick update on everything in my position. If you know much about my journey, I dropped out of college 2 months ago, and nearly 4 weeks ago, I moved to Marbella with a friend of mine, and who is now my creative director, and a student of mine, who is a friend of mine, of course, as well. And they're living in the same apartment as me. One of them is going back pretty soon to London, and then me and my creative director slash friend are going back to Marbella pretty soon. And to break it down, we are pretty much going home on the 25th, or we're going home on the 18th to the 25th for a week for our parents' birthdays, and then we're coming back out here. So it will be a fun trip, but we're currently in Marbella. We've been here for nearly a month, and we've done some different things. We've put ourselves in a position, and this is what I want to talk about, the raw truth for this channel, the raw truth about starting and trying to build up a business and how you're going to feel. A big thing about that is momentum. You might have momentum for a while and you might lose it. And last month I had it for maybe a week where I felt good. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do well, I'm going to do well. And then after a few days I lost it, and then I get it back and then I lose it. So combined time of feeling as if I mentally had, momentum, the combined time of mentally feeling like I had momentum was about a week. So in reality, you might think you're doing well, but that could go away the next day. And that's the thing with these things. It's so easy for us to get disassociated to what is, whether it's a lot of money or what is success or whatever the fuck you want to portray it as. But to kind of break down what I've been doing, like I said, I dropped out, I run these businesses and I do these different things. We moved to Marbella about 4 weeks ago. And I don't want to talk too much about it because I talk about it a lot in each video, but I feel like it is a fundamental core part of something I need to speak about. The first 2 weeks felt as if they were 3 months, leaving, just working, doing nothing else. Since then, we've probably left the apartment like not even a dozen times, maybe like 7 times, not including the gym, whether to go to restaurants, whether to do something. And for the first 2 weeks, it was pure work. It was, you're sat here, you're doing work all day, and you're not really doing much, You're just doing work, you're training, you're eating, and that is your life. And then after that, we did more so of, we had a friend come over who was a growth operator. If you know what that is, basically run backends of coaching businesses for people, do their sales, marketing, and everything, while the guy just does content. So it pretty much means I'll do your entire business for you. You just give me, rev share or whatever. And one of my friends came out who does that. He's doing good. He's making a couple thousand a month with it. He came out and we went to Gibraltar for a few days, or for a day, I should say. Me, Seb, Gabriel, and Tommy is his name, went to Gibraltar. I think I talked about it before, but the day in the life is coming soon. So stay tuned for that. That is currently being edited. But that was really sick. Obviously, Gibraltar is pretty much owned by the UK and is part of the UK, so it was a very interesting experience. And we did that. We rented out an Opel car. So an Opel, we rented that out for a day, drove up to Gibraltar, came back, and then went back to work. And with the car, we went up to the mountains. We drove around Marbella. But that was literally 2.5 weeks into the trip. We actually got to experience where we're living. Sure, we got to see the warmth and, these shops that sell like iced tea or whatever. And we got to go to the gym and enjoy the warmth. But we didn't really do anything up until like right around 2.5 weeks where Tommy came. And we did things, and then he left, and then we went back to work. And You know, maybe we went to a couple of restaurants, but that's not really like enjoying. I guess it is enjoying. I don't want to sound like that motherfucker, but we don't just relax here. And I guess that's the thing. When you do things like this online and you want to make money or create wealth or whatever it is, you don't really get to relax, because the days you're not doing anything, you're pissed off you're not doing anything. And the days you're doing something, you're pissed off you're not doing more. There's no balance here. There's no balance, and that is a thing I struggle with. And you guys have heard me talk about this before, but I've always struggled to balance fitness, health, money, and all these different things at once. And I'm definitely getting better at it. You know, obviously I have days where I wake up at 8 a.m., I have days where I wake up at 11, 12, but I'm definitely getting better at it to an extent where I'm able to do all these different things, prioritize health as well, because that's something a lot of us struggle with. But to give you a TLDR on all of this, there's a lot of shit that goes on when you want to, you know, do online money things. And this is my second time recording this video, by the way. The first time the audio didn't pick up properly. But you have to really commit yourself and understand this is what you want. And I tried to do this where I was in college and I did this, and that's why I dropped out, because I felt as if I was giving it 50% effort. And if I'm giving it 50, and even if my competitor is giving it 60, and that's all he's doing, if he's half-assing it and that's all he's doing, he's going to be better than I am. And it pissed me off. And it made me realize, if this is what I really want to do, I have to go all in. I'm not an anomaly where I can do 2 or 3 different things at once to a very good level. I'm not, trust me. So I said I have to make a decision. I did that, and here I am today. And there's a lot of different things that come with, you know, moving out. Obviously you have self-responsibilities, rent, food. The good sides of that being you have a clear vision and you know what you want. But then there's other aspects of it as well, like figuring out rent. And you know, like we have to find accommodation for next month, which obviously is our fault. Like, I'm not complaining about it. It's just a bit stressful. If you know much about Marbella, you know in the winter it's quite cheap, or in comparison to the summer. For example, we paid $1,500 because we got a discount on accommodation for where we are. 3 people, $1,500, 2 rooms. I have the big bed. They split 2 beds, or they split 2 separate beds. So 3 beds, 2 apartments, 1 bathroom, $1,500, which is good. In summer, this place would be 5, 6, 7K. So the price of this goes up significantly because of the value that people portray on Marbella. Where they come here in the summer, it's warm, it's nice. And that is a very stressful factor as if we get closer. As in, especially when we get closer to summer, we have to figure out where are we going to live. And we'll figure that out. There's obviously different things we could do. We can go to a cheaper place or move back. But it also just tells you need to work harder and make more money. And that's a lot of what's been going on. That's been a stressful thing for sure. And on top of that, I just applied for an LLC. So I have a company that I'm establishing in Ireland. That is what I do with consulting and coaching. And I need to go back. I used a middleman, so I paid $200. I have a middleman I'm using online, Irish Formations. And then what I need to do is go get some documents notarized to prove that I'm alive, that I'm real, that I've actually signed documents and I'm legal and all these things. And I tried to do that online, and you're meant to be able to, but it did not work out, so I need to go back to Ireland and do that. And I'm going back for my mom's birthday anyway, so I figured I'd time it. But a lot of stressful things like this, you know, coming up with content ideas, which obviously not for this channel, for the actual coaching channel, coming up with that, recording it, which like those are such easy things when you think about it. But then dealing with stressful things like running a business and, you know, clients and all these things. And shout out to my clients, like, I will talk a bit more about them later on, but all these different things where you need to really commit yourself to it, because this isn't something you half-ass. It's something where you just say, okay, let me do this, and you go in, and you go fully in. But to talk a bit about, I've talked a bit about, you know, the journey, and I've talked about these struggles and all these things. It's an update video. We've gone to Gibraltar. Seb's friends have come over, Chris and Teddy. So we went to a restaurant last night. We walked home. It took like 2 hours, which was really long, but we have had a good time. We're going to go out tonight to Puerto Banús, not even eat, just to chill. And it's fun. It is very fun. Obviously, I'd like to say we deserve it, but in the back of my mind, I don't. And that brings me to my next point. And I've been foreshadowing this, but I'm not a big person for money. I don't really care about material goods. But recently I made a pretty interesting purchase, and I'll show you guys that now. It is a Sleeping Snoopy Omega Speedmaster. There's 1,970 pieces. It is a collaboration piece with the moon landing and the Sleeping Snoopy. 50th anniversary. It's a very cool piece. A quarter of the people holding it are millionaires. I'm very fortunate to get one of these, and I was contemplating it a couple nights ago and I said fuck it, and I did it. And it was a matter of, obviously some of you guys are thinking, but that's how much you made like last month basically. It wasn't a matter of money. It was a matter of when I put myself in a very specific position where I am uncomfortable and my back is against the wall. It's as if you're buying like a program or coaching or whatever. Your back's against the wall, you need to make it work. And the same thing applies here. I paid 16,000 for a watch, and I've never been a big fan of material goods, but it's a matter of now I really need to work and I really need to take this serious because I spent so much on something like this. And it wasn't a matter of the design. This is actually a collector's piece. So it's like a lot of people don't even have this piece or know about it. It's not as if I got a Rolex to flex. It's a matter of, it is a very sentimental piece to me. And this video is nearly 11 minutes long, so I'll shortcut this, but I have a friend who I used to do crypto with, and we did it together, and we talked about this watch. He brought it up to me, and he introduced me to it. And we talked about how we'd get one each when we were older and when we made more money. And the other day I called him, and he was high when I called him. And it's like, I'm not going to hate on someone for smoking or drinking, do whatever you want, but it was a matter of, I stopped everything for a while, and then I really worked my ass off to get back up here and make things work for me, while he is just smoking, hating his job, complaining about life, but doing nothing to change it. So this watch is more of a sentimental piece than just, you know, like something I can show off. Because if you look at this watch, you're just going to think it's like a 2K Omega Speedmaster, $4,000 Omega Speedmaster. You're like, it's cool, but like nobody really knows the value of it, especially to me. It's not a matter of money. It's not a matter of flexing wealth. It's not a matter of any of that shit. It's a sentimental piece that tells me, A, I need to work harder, but B, it is more than just me. And if you, obviously you guys know I do coaching and things, but this isn't because of the fact that I sign clients. This is because of the fact that I've worked my ass off and I help my clients succeed too. I have a student who's 16, he made 700 in 2 days. I have some other students, one made 8K, another's doing 5, 3, all these different numbers from home. And, you know, not having to work jobs they fucking hate because of the fact that I've been able to train them and help them and do all these things. So I've gotten to my position in a very fair way. And this watch, it's funny how I got this watch. I was in the jacuzzi with Teddy, Chris, Seb, and, you know, we did all this stuff and then I left. And I checked my phone, because obviously I didn't have my phone on me. I checked my phone after getting dressed and this guy was calling me, and it was the FedEx guy. And the delivery was meant to come on the 10th, and then they moved it, and I was like, okay, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but they'll just leave it in the post box. They didn't. They wanted to bring it directly to me. I think I had to sign for it, and they called me a couple times, and I missed the calls, obviously, so I called him back. He wasn't going to reply, and then right at the end when it was about to hang up, he replies, and he's telling me he's in Porto Banús, and we're a little bit away from that. So I don't have a car, I don't have anything, and I had to get an Uber up to collect it there and back, and I was stressed out about everything, and I got it. And then the trip was like, you know, 5 minutes there, 30 minute wait, 30-minute back. So it was like an hour total. But the way back, I was just sat there looking at the box because it came in this massive box. I was sat there looking at it and I was just like, fuck. 2 things. A, like I spent a lot of money, of course, and all that shit. But like B, that was like one of the moments I was actually proud of myself in my life. And I think that's what happens when you get into online money too, that people won't show you. Your standards will get a lot higher because you want to make more than people. You want to do better than people. You want to work at a more productive rate than people. You want a better quality of life, therefore your standards will be higher. And I've been doing online money for such a long time where it's fucked the way I perceive a lot of things like money and wealth and all these things. And I like to consider myself a happy person, but I'm not a person who's constantly proud of myself. But looking at that watch and understanding that I contributed to this because of the fact that I've helped people in a very positive way and changed their lives is the reason I am where I am, is the reason I have this watch. And it was a very weird feeling of proudness that I try to push away, but honestly, ultimately, I am proud of the fact that I got this watch. And I told my mom, I told my dad, they were just like, okay, like what the fuck? But I think subconsciously they are now understanding that I'm okay. I mean, to move out and then buy a watch instantly means that I'm probably okay, at least hopefully in their minds. But I don't want to yap on for too long. Obviously, leave a like, subscribe. If you enjoy this type of content, you can go and watch my first video where I talk more about everything. But that is everything I have for you boys today. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. If you've been watching this, whether you've been, you know, watching the update videos or whether you're new, I appreciate you either way. Thank you for being a supporter. Thank you for watching the content. But that is everything I wanted to talk about today. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.